Welcome to Text to a Video, boys and girls. We got to talk about these bitches. This is my third attempt at this. I talk too fucking much and I can't help it because they're shit. But this is the gray and the black. You can tell they're not worlds apart. You can definitely see there's a couple shades more like a charcoal. I like it. I wanted to not get black just because it's standard as shit. I wanted to get the gray, something a little bit different, but I didn't want something that's going to scream, hey, look at me. So these, like, I need to shoot it, but they fucking killed it. Like, for $300, I'm going to say from here on out, I'm probably going to get shit because, I mean, there's like a lot of guys that just like live to hate PSA. Like, them bitches let that shit live rent free in their head. And PSA is not the gold standard company on the planet. I don't say they're just as good as my favorite shit, which is Radiant. I'm a massive fucking Radiant fan. Radiant is king of ARs in my book because I just love everything about how they do it, what they do, the quality in it, all that. PSA, if you want to punch paper, I'm going to tell you buy a PSA. If you want something that's not expensive, but you want it reliable, buy a fucking PSA, put a good bolt carrier group, charging handle, and trigger in it. That bitch is going to run with any fucking thing out there. If not, it's going to be like right up underneath it, okay? Now, the problem with me is I've had a ton of PSA. They get boring to me with their standard shit. Like their standard uppers and lowers, my ADD brain, like the way this works up here, I lose my ability to keep enjoying that shit because I have to change it up. I have to change it up something else. I get tired of shit. So their standard shit, I'll recommend it. But even their FN barreled upper, it's got the same plain Jane handguards on it usually. And that's just kind of played out. You know what I mean? Like for me, that's how I work. That's okay for everybody else. You're new to the game or not picky and you're not built like me, you're okay. So with this, I am going to venture to say these are probably the baddest handgun you can get for $300. It's built off Glock architecture, and it beats Glock. Box stock, it fucking beats Glock, dude. Look at this shit. I have yet to use one that has a trigger that feels it's spring right up to the wall. You have a touch of creep there, break. What the fuck? Actually, where's my tool at? Damn it. Let's see here. There it is. All right. So, sorry for that. We're going to test the trigger pull because we can. So, let's see here. Right there at the brake thing. And 6.1 pounds. I can probably do that again down lower and get a better result out of it. Let's see here. Down low. Nope, I lied. Same thing. So if you break it right here or at the bottom, it's going to break 6 pounds. It doesn't feel like a 6 pound trigger because it's not 6 pounds on a wall. It's bam, pulling up on the wall. And actually we'll measure that if you want to, just for shits and grins. We'll say, and to the wall. That thing takes 2.8 pounds to the wall. So from here to here is 2.8 pounds. And then from there, you've got about 4 pounds of pressure to break. That's, for $300, it's a good trigger. It's not back when the Janik TP9SF and all that shit were $280, $300. Those set the bar high for a $300 handgun as far as the trigger goes. Well, those are now like $400 or more. They've gone up. Why? I don't know. They're not a high quality gun. They used to be something I'd recommend to someone that was like, hey, if you want something cheap, good trigger, you know, questionable reliability. A lot of people say they never had a problem. I dropped mine and obliterated the rear sight and it pushed it over from waist level. So, you know, now they're over $400 and shit or close to it. This is going to be the king of the $300 handgun. It's Glock architecture. The trigger's okay. And the cool part about it is you get to take this dude apart. And Glock, do Gen 5s even come with a fucking stainless guide rod? Are they still plastic? My Gen 3 and 4 have a plastic guide rod. This shit's stainless off the bat. I have to upgrade my Glocks to stainless. And it comes with irons, not Glock plastic irons. Like, Glock cut some fucking corners compared to this shit, you know? So, we've got Gen 3 Glock architecture, and they railed it with the handle. And they made it look prettier. They cut some things, made it lightweight, did whatever they had to do. And while I like that, what I'm in love with is the fact that whenever I was walking through PSA, when I was out there a couple years ago at the affiliate program, like I could see all kinds of shit, and I'll see a guy messing with a slide on a table with, you know, some machinery. I don't know if it was a mill or what. It's been a couple of years. I'm looking at something. I was like, is that a Glock slide? He's like looking around like, where's this dude's fucking handler at, right? No questions. They broke it down to us, kept it confidential. They said, yeah, that's a handgun we're working on, this and that. You know, Gen 3 clone, 19. Bam, cool. Had to keep that shit to ourselves. Couldn't tell none of y'all because they just said this is not a thing we're ready to release yet. So I did not. I kept my mouth shut. And to see it come to fruition, that was badass. Because on top of knowing that it was coming, just like the Jackal was the same shit, they killed this as far as the grip goes. And you know why? Because I hate Glock grips factory. It's why I originally hated Glocks. I love the low bore axis. They killed that shit with the Glock. The grips were ass. And then I got a little older. I started learning that I could grind it down, get rid of this finger groove that's here for the Glock 3 and 4, keep this one, undercut this, and then grind and staple the back and front. It looked prettier. And I've got guys like, I fucking hate Glock. I'm like, hold my Glock. Right? Let me whip up my Glock. You can hold it. Anyway, they're like, damn, that feels good. I'm like, yeah, that's what made me start liking Glocks. It made me start loving them a little bit because they are, I'll argue with anybody, they're the AR-15 of the handgun world. You don't agree, you're mentally challenged. So, you know, they made the grip essentially how I make my Glock grips. One finger groove, it's got texture front and back. It's decent looking. It looks like they have adapted almost a SIG-ish grip. And they got the Glock architecture, you know, with the function, but they also did kind of a SIG side cut here for reducing weight, which is cool. It works. I'm going to say, if you know of a $300 handgun that you think's better than one of these, that you've shot one of these, not somebody, oh, this is better. Man, bullshit. If you ain't shot it, shut the fuck up. Because this is going to shoot to me like a Gen 3 Glock, which is, they're generally lasers. They're as accurate as you can be, in my experience. Especially a 17, you know, a little bit longer barrel. The 19s do very well. So if you have an idea about that, let me know. Otherwise, this is excellent. I'll do some performance, you know, I'll do some, I don't know if I'll do accuracy, but I'll definitely want to put like 500 rounds through this shit. This is going to be my recommended gun. When somebody's like, I need a handgun that's cheap, I'm like, Dagger, $300. I need something to keep home defense, just a pistol, I'm like, Dagger, $300. Like, this is the gun to get for $300. Even if you want something to just throw around and abuse, if you can't afford $300 on a handgun, just to have one that's cheap to throw around, not care. All right, I'm not talking to you, but the rest of the people out there that we spend way too much money on guns and shit, ammo, accessories, so on and so forth. You know, we can swing this and not give a shit. And I guess, let me see here. Okay, so that, wow, that is not what I was looking for. All right, so even the barrel bluing or barrel coating is darker than the black frame on the standard model, but the gray, it sticks out a little more. So like I said, the gray is definitely like 2 to 3 shades lighter. It's not extreme. But this is going to essentially take the place of what I used to recommend. The Smith & Wesson SD9VE. That was a shit trigger, but all the ones, I had a few and they were reliable. They looked okay. They weren't ugly, they weren't pretty, they looked decent. But for $280, my Escalade got stolen. Never seen that gun again. Reported the serial number. I know those guys out there, your car's not a holster. You can't carry everywhere. My wife's Escalade was stolen. She doesn't have a license to carry anyway. Stays in the console for her and the kids if she needs it. If you don't like that, I don't give a shit. So, you know, that's gone, and I'm only out $300. Same thing with this. If this gets stolen, I'm like, damn, I like that Dagger, but I'm just gonna buy me a new one, you know, make a phone call, you know, get on the internet, order another one, I'm done. So yeah, I can't wait to fire this, but this has me excited and kind of upset I didn't go in sooner. So if you've made it this far, stay tuned, check it out. I will get out there and shoot it as soon as I can. Shooting location has been rough lately, so, you know, a lot of shit going on. I've been super busy. I'm working essentially 3 jobs right now, so I can afford stupid shit, right? So, yeah, check you guys next time. Hope you enjoyed my little TED talk about how good this thing is, even though I ain't shot it yet.